Everything, guys. Luke here at SimBoxx, and today we're going to be doing an interview with Ben Ridings. He's going to be joining us shortly. Really looking forward to discussing a few things with Ben, his career so far and his future plans. So I hope you enjoy this. Any questions, fire them away in the comments, and we'll answer them as we go along. I think Ben's just about to dive on now. While we're here, just make sure that you're following us on SimBoxx. Also on Twitter, which is our main social media channel. We've got a lot of content on there. A lot of things that we've been posting recently. A lot of our work's been going through Twitter. Also on YouTube, SimBoxx on YouTube. Make sure you're following on there as well. I'm just about to welcome Ben into the video now. There we are. How are we doing, Ben?
How you doing, mate? You okay with the audio? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, sounding all good there, mate. How's things?
Good. Yeah, I'm good, mate. Yeah, just living the isolation life as we all are.
That's it, mate. I think that's one of the things that I was keen to get into, with the whole isolation and lockdown thing. Like, how have you found that in terms of trying to keep fit and trying to keep yourself motivated and keep sane above all else?
Don't get me wrong, it's been hard. Obviously, it's a blessing because we get to spend more time with our families, but training side of things, it's been quite tough because obviously there's only so much you can do. You need your coach there, don't you, really, to have that bit of motivation as well, inside and outside the ring. But my runs have stayed the same. Obviously, you can still go for what one time a day, can't you? So my runs are still on point. I've got a growthy bag at the back. I've got a battered up bag in the back. I got that delivered yesterday. But other than that, yeah, I'm just trying to keep a routine. Obviously, I'm not going to be as fit as I should be because, like I said, I'm not getting the sparring in. I'm not getting the pad work in. And all that matters, on fight nights. But obviously, as you're aware, the Ultimate Boxer's been postponed now. We can't do it on the 3rd of April, of course. So it just gives me more time to train and more time to prepare for it, really.
I think, that's one thing that you're fortunate with, at your age, a gap in your career at this point, you can recover from, and it's not, or hopefully won't be as much of a hindrance as somebody maybe 34, 35, where this kind of gap, this kind of inactivity could bring on more issues. I think at your age you shouldn't really suffer from any kind of issues like that, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, 100%. It does make sense. I mean, obviously, because I'm young, I've still always got my base fitness there. My base fitness is never going to go, obviously, until I get older and older and older. I could do 4 rounds now if I wanted to do 4 rounds now. But obviously, we've been training for 3 frees, all fast pace. So, like I said, I'm still trying to keep up that fitness pace on the bag. I'm still doing my 3 frees continuously. So I do 3 frees shadow boxing, 3 frees bag work, 3 frees burpees or whatever. And just crack on from there. Like you said, it's not really a hindrance, is it?
Yeah, certainly. So if we can go back to the last time we spoke, I think there was a couple of issues with a possible, was it an eye issue or something like that you managed to overcome?
Yeah.
Through that, and how things have been since that time.
Yeah. So basically, I was supposed to be fighting on Kieran Farrell's show in, I think it was November, wasn't it? His last show. It was November. I sold all the tickets. I did pretty well with tickets as well. And then I got told on the Wednesday, so the week of the fight, I got told on the Wednesday, my eye test came back as a fail. So could you please get it redone, just to double check that? So I got it redone the next day on a Thursday, because that was the only next available appointment. And then it came back the same. Basically, my left eye pupil was smaller than my right eye pupil, just by 1 millimetre. And we weren't happy with that. They clamped down on it. And my partner's always said that one of my eyes is smaller than the other. It's just a natural born defect, and they even said that. But they said, no, you need to see a specialist. We're not going forward. Obviously, it's to cover their own backs and to cover mine, just in case anything did happen. So I couldn't afford a surgeon or anything, especially that short of time. So on the Friday, they didn't tell me till the Friday, the day before the fight, that I'm not fighting. So I spent about 4 hours with my dad driving around, collecting all the ticket money back because nobody wanted to go to the fight night unless I was fighting.
Yeah,
obviously that's there to watch, aren't they? So that was a big, it's been a long time since I boxed as well, a long time. So it's been mentally draining, really. But I seen the surgeon, nothing wrong with my eye. He said exactly the same thing what the optician said. There's nothing wrong. It's just a natural born defect. But obviously they needed me to fork out 300 quid of that just to say that's okay. Obviously Kieran helped me with it as well. So
yeah, definitely. I think that's something that's often overlooked, especially in the small horse shows or younger boxers like yourself that are trying to make that breakthrough. It's not all the glitz and glamour of a Sky Sports or a BT show where these things, are taken care of behind the scenes. At grassroots boxing level, and the financial impact that it has on the fighters when selling tickets is your bread and butter. Was it a worry there that this your dream of being a boxer might have fell apart at that point?
100%, mate. Yeah, I mean, when that happened, and obviously the medical's a bomb as well as it is, and I'm the only one that works in the house, so obviously my partner's staying at home, my little one, he's only a year old, and we can't afford to take him to nursery because it costs more than what you have to do to actually both work. So it has been hard, and I've recently been made redundant in my job as well. So at that point, yeah, I was like, I'm not even going to be able to keep up with the payments on this, but my godsend was Kieran Farrell. He basically paid for my medical so I could pay it off, and I finally paid him off. I only did it in small installments, but I stuck to my word and I say I'll pay him 100%. He's actually paid for my eye test, which was like £275, 300 quid or something. I'm going to be paying him off for that. I've paid off the medical, so that's all done, and now I'm on to the next one, which is my eye test. And because I've not fought for so long either, it's not going to belong to my next medical. So it's basically like 600 quid down the drain, really, of my money because I've not been able to fight because of my eye test was a bit of a backstop. But yeah, Kieran's just been a godsend throughout it all, and because he knows that I'm going to pay him back because I do stick to my word on that. It's just I don't always have that money now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense. I think a big shout out to Kieran there. Like I say, things that go on behind the scenes that a lot of people won't necessarily see because he's not the type of person to plaster it all across social media. So big shout out to Kieran Farrell for that.
Yeah, 100%.
He plays a pivotal role in all his fighters.
Sorry, go on.
Fantastic. Yeah. So moving on from that, you were scheduled to be on the Rolling the Dice 2 card. Obviously, that didn't happen as we got the announcement at the time for the huge opportunity to be on the Ultimate Boxer. This is something that I was eager to talk to you about. Can you take us through how that offer came, and your initial reaction?
Well, basically, cause like I said, I got made redundant. I was doing a little bit of work on the side with my dad. He's in like jack of all trades, or like bricklaying, etc., etc. But it was only every now and again when there was available work. But I was doing a job with him, and then I got a text, and then it was Kieran, and Kieran you said I'll phone you in an hour. And when it's to do with a phone call, it's like there's something going on. You know what I mean? I'm like, you never want to call me. It's normally just message me something quick. Anyway, I'm like, there's something big here because he tried to get me to Sky Sports show a while ago, and he told me to ring him, but that fell through. And so obviously I was getting a bit impatient because it got to like nearly an hour and he still weren't ringing, and I was like, "What's up, mate? Are you gonna tell me?" And he put a laughing face and he went, I won't keep you in suspense. I might have got you on the Ultimate Boxer show, but don't get your hopes up. So I said, right, okay. I didn't know much about the Ultimate Boxer, to be fair, I'm going to be honest. So then I looked it up and I thought, bloody hell, this is a big thing, this. And obviously the prize money, everyone's going to be like, their eyes lit up and stuff. So basically, time went on and we're still waiting on a phone call. And then Kieran eventually got back to me and says, listen, I couldn't get you on the Ultimate Boxer, but I could get you on the undercard of the Ultimate Boxer, which is something, you know what I mean? Obviously, it's still a chance of being televised and stuff like that. And so I went to the media day, for all the filming and stuff. Yeah. I was basically a step in, so if anyone pulled out of the Ultimate Boxer, I was next in line to actually go into the competition. So I went to the media day and everything like that, and obviously there was 8 fighters. I was acting as if though I was still in the Ultimate Boxer because we needed to get all the footage and all that, like saying that, oh, what would you do if you win, etc., etc. So then I went home. The very next day, I got a phone call. Listen, bro, you're in the Ultimate Boxer, and obviously I was ecstatic. I was like, that's crazy, that, man. But they didn't. No one actually pulled out. I think they've ended up pulling somebody out. I don't know the full story to it, but I think they pulled somebody out because they liked my backstory, my image, you know what I mean? The tattoo, they liked it. Obviously, boxing's all through media these days as well, isn't it? So they just liked me, you know, my persona, the way I spoke, and you know, I'm not full of like bullshit either. I just say it how it is, like in my personal life, but just like I'm talking to you naturally now. They like that, so yeah. Obviously, I'm in the competition now, and you know, I'm buzzing. Couldn't be any happier.
Yeah, superb. I think, you know, it's a great story to think that you went from, you know, the struggles and the worries of the eye issue, being out the ring for so long, and then not only to come back, but to come back on such a huge platform. You know, unfortunately, it has been postponed due to the whole coronavirus situation. But I'm sure when it gets rescheduled, you know, it's going to be a really exciting tournament for you to be a part of.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, obviously, this is all new to me. I'm nervous. Don't get me wrong. It's nerve-wracking because it's the biggest one. It's going to be the biggest show that I've been on so far. Obviously, being on telly as well, that's just added pressure. But I've just got to go in there and do my thing. You know, I'd say I'm the underdog of the competition because everybody on there has like got a name for themselves, whether it's a record or you know, Eubank's son, for instance. You know, they've already got a name and I have to make my name on that night as well. So that's even more added pressure for me.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a perfect opportunity for you to make your name, the whole rags to riches story, you know. And you and Breeze, a member of the team, commented on the video earlier on saying, you know, who do you look at as the biggest threat in the competition? Is there anyone that stands out most to you?
To me, yeah, Matt Jeffers. Not going to lie, I'm not naive and I'm not stupid. He's the only one that I'd be a bit wary of, basically.
Yeah.
Everybody else I've got a game plan for, but me and Kieran have both said when it comes to Matt Jeffers, if I get put in the tournament with him, it's just going to come down to heart because we know that Matt Jeffers can box, we know that he can fight. I can box and I can fight, yeah, but that's just going to come down to heart. Whereas everybody else, we've got a game plan for. Take Diego Costa, for instance. I'm not going to want to go in and fight him. He's a big hitter, you know what I mean? I'm not stupid. Just box him. We're just going to box his head off, you know what I mean? It's the only way around him because if I get in there and try and fight him, it's going to be strength against strength, and I know he's going to be stronger than me. It's like anything, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, basically that's the way we're going to fight. We've got a game plan for everybody. If it comes to Mark, it's just going to come down to heart and, you know, whoever's got the best boxing skill.
Fantastic. And also, you know, speaking of Matt Jeffers, Kieran obviously has first-hand experience of trying to formulate a game plan against him, you know, on the recent M32 promotions card. Ben Thomas, you know, the gym mate of yours, he went in against Matt Jeffers. And Matt Jeffers, who was there for SimBoxx, I was there myself ringside, and, you know, I'm a big fan of Ben Thomas. I think he's a good away fighter. He's a solid fighter. And Matt Jeffers blew him away. You know, Matt Jeffers was really, really impressive that day. And like you say, he does stand out. And if it does come down to a war of attrition, you know, a war of heart between yourself and him, I think the only one winner there is the fans.
Yeah, 100%. It's like I said, it is the fans. You know, whether you can get the buzz off your fans and stuff like that. But yeah, it's just going to come down to heart with someone like that. And either way, all I'm going to get out of it is experience. I've got nothing to lose in this competition. That's why I am dangerous in it because I don't. Obviously, everyone cares about a loss on the record, but what would I rather have a loss in a competition like this against good fighters and get the experience from it, or a loss against, you know, a journeyman? I'm not saying journeymen are rubbish, but it's like that. They're fucking tough. You know, I've had two fights in my free fight career, like only young in that, and two of them have been really tough, and I've learned a lot from them. But obviously, if I lose to someone with a high skill, you know, I know what I need to be. I know where I would need to be. But if I win, you know, which I genuinely believe I can, then I know what position I am in the boxing world, you know what I mean? I know how high I can get. So I can only get experience from this.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I think the one thing that you know, I always pick up from you, Ben, when I speak to you, when we spoke in the past, I think you was one of the first people I ever interviewed for SimBoxx, and I always get the sense that you want to better yourself and you want to test yourself, and, you know, you want to be able to answer those questions. So when the time comes in the future that, you know, you've got the experience to fall back on of, you know, you've been in a war, you've been in a tough fight, and, you know, win, lose or draw, you've got that knowledge there, that experience there, that you can trust yourself in battle.
Yeah, 100%. It's like you said, I'm always trying to test myself. Sparring, I'm not one of these that says no. If I've got an opportunity to spar someone good, I'll spar them because I I know where I am, and then I'll know that I'll be confident for my next fight, knowing that I've done pretty well against this guy. Imagine having 10 ounce gloves on and fucking fighting this other guy that's nowhere near as good as the guy that I've just sparred.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's always about testing myself. I always want to push myself further and further.
Yeah, fantastic. So just stepping away from your own career for a second, I think it'd be nice to give a special mention to Lee Clayton. He's a gym mate of yours. And he's obviously recently retired. He's joining the team at SimBoxx as well, which I'm delighted to announce. And I just think it'd be nice to give him a special mention. And what are your memories of being in the gym with Lee, and your thoughts of him as a fighter and his career?
Lee, hardest worker I know, put it that way. To sum him up in one thing, is definitely the hardest worker I know. Basically, with Lee, I've known Lee for quite a while, really. I actually first met him at an amateurs dynamics gym in Radcliffe. He'll know all about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I boxed like 2 fights with dynamics. And then I stepped away from boxing for a while, and then I turned up to Kieran's just wanting to do amateur solely. And then Lee ended up being there. So that was a bit of a comfort zone for me, because I was like, right, shit, I know somebody here. At least I could stay here and try and eventually get involved. But Lee's a really hard worker, and whenever I've got a question about fitness, the fitness industry, I'll always message Lee on the sly and about products, whey protein, what to get, etc. I always end up asking Lee because he's knowledgeable, he knows his shit, you know what I mean, and he knows his boxing, and yeah, like I said, massive shout out to Lee, really, definitely.
Yeah, fantastic. So I think to finish with, Ben, I think I'll give you the opportunity. Is there anyone you want to shout out? Is there anyone you want to mention to close with?
Yeah, 100%. I want to shout out Alpha Aesthetics. It's the whey protein company, nutritional company. They actually wanted to sponsor me. Well, they have sponsored me for the Ultimate Boxer. Obviously, it's been postponed now, but they've been a massive help on the nutrition side of things. So thank you, Alpha Aesthetics.
Yeah, fantastic. So I'm sure we'll catch up in the future. When the postponed tournament is put back on. I'm sure we'll catch up in the future and we'll get some more content with yourself. I wish you the best of luck, and we'll speak soon.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you.